teams. Will we see it? Well, I guess we're getting into tank picks. We'll have a better idea when we see these picks in this first round of Sand River, because very few teams, if any, I think had gone no mediums on attack on Sand River yet, or very rarely. And let's see if anyone's been practicing Team Flare right here as we see the picks going out.
2 Crons, an I7 of EZ, CS, and a Bad Chad. Both teams actually bring in Bad Chad.
And you pointed out Flare brought a Bad Chad on 1 round or 2 rounds in the
and that's about it. That's all the Bad Chad we saw then.
Like one was brought on
I feel like
something.
And that's the thing is, like, Flare is a very Bad Chad team.
Centered. Yeah. They were like still bringing it on, like,
I mean, like Muscles and External were like the Bad Chats, right? And then you had Dark and you know, usually wow, I can't remember the other guy off the top of my head, but you know, Dark in a CS and somebody else, right? Like if they brought but it was really rare that they brought like 4, right?
Right, and Brett's been that bat. I mean, you see, Brett is usually that bat for Jack as AFK, and Muscles, like you pointed out, for Burbology. It's a hard tank to play in this meta, but both teams opting for it, and both teams opting for, you know, that split of mediums and heavies that we've seen more traditionally through the regular season.
Right.
It's
just kind of like we've always kind of talked about how, like, the beginning of the season, people are like, oh, the VZ is like, so actually, like, really quickly, because Sand River can be like such a really weird game. So on Wednesday, usually I have Scott with me. I didn't have Scott with me, and I didn't really know what to do because I'm lost without him. So for League After Dark, I literally just got a whole bunch of people from the league to do cam chat with me, and we basically did like a podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I had December, I had Dark, I had Muscles, I had Nova, I had Floppy, I mean, I had Skip, I had so many people, the Germ, you know what I mean? Yeah. I had some, Luxon as well. So I basically had every, a person from every external. You know what I mean? I mean, I had...
It's like you're in Discord with your friends, and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, I'm turning on cameras, and everyone's like, let's have a cam party.
Right. Basically, that's basically what happened. And then we just talked about the league, and we talked about how December is getting bled by Coma and Vervi.
2 out of 3 connecting
and 3 people. There's somebody else back there as well.
And I don't know what Burbology's planning to do with this. They were trying to take an aggressive spot, and this is not what they intended. December's trying to get out, but he should make it out.
I don't know if you want to let him get out. Like, I don't know if you overpoke for that or not. It looks like they're trying to get some mid play here too. Oh, but look at Octo and Major. They're like, no, you don't, Captain Jack. Oh,
Captain Jack
turned the left. Oh, you're gonna get killed! Oh no!
That is a big play that Burb needed. They've taken a lot of damage though for this. OP's down to a 1-shot as well.
OP's down to a 1-shot as well. Yeah, but I mean,
they're bleeding so much.
Down
they
a
need
CS on attack though is so bad. Looks like Coma and Vervi are just having to push this now.
Yeah,
the problem is that bleed in the Kron in the middle.
They could have done that again. They could have just let the Kron reload and done that again on Ox if they really wanted to.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, you said Coma's just engaging here and getting the shot into December, but
it looks like Coma's getting clipped out by the Kron. Like I was, yeah.
Major's down to 3 HP.
Down
yeah, the Kron was getting the shot. And now the bats are rotating. That should be Brett in the north, just starting to rotate and trying to get angles on the Kronwagen on October. What an odd! It looks like.
Look at Coma's shot. Oh, but it goes to the sky!
Just a little bit outside.
It went to outer space.
And the best thing about the I-7 is you have an eternity to wait to get to do it again.
His APCR shell was like a SpaceX launch.
Another shot going out.
Dude,
Jack's
Octo just trying to get safe. Not used to playing the Kronwagen because he's usually in a T100.
And just Burbology are in awkward spots. They haven't lost a gun yet.
They really are.
I mean, 3 1-shots.
Getting revenge.
All these little bleeds here and there. Jack's AFK just playing on their toes. And
so they're going to push. They're going to push the K-line right over the K-line here. With Kenway going first because he has all HP.
Really fast.
Kenway. Vamos.
Kenway, you just have to go. Don't take those shots. Just you have to go. You have to make them shoot you. Depends. I think only 1 out of 3 there. That's really unfortunate. Muscles has enough in his clip to finish Very, I'm pretty sure. But He's very spinning it out.
That's
at least
adorable.
He's
He's trying to like push Burby, but like the Kron bucket in horsepower to time ratio is so worthless. You know, it gets like.
And this is all time. Floppy's getting to farm and get damage out.
Do you see that in the left? Oh my god! Look how fast Brett, but Greg goes down
for it. Just being there at 3 HP is enough to make Brett die. But Jack's AFK has the HP advantage, but on 2 tanks.
Oh, Ox is coming in. He sees the other one shot. He's going for it. Is he gonna get OP? He gets OP. He gets 2.
What are you looking at?
And they're just grouping up. They're just gonna go for him. And he's forcing.
Muscles knows
I think
that Ox doesn't have enough for him. He knows he has to get in there immediately.
Ox forced. Like he knows he's gonna only maybe get another clip off. Oh, he needed to keep on backing up. Oh, he's loaded.
Oh my god, he is. Oh my god, he is. Oh my god, that forcing was so clutch! He did it immediately and it's still just barely. Oh, and no, Kenway bounces, but he gets the kill. And it's a 2-on-1 with Floppy
full HP! And there's 2 one-shots!
That was a game of fraction of a second there.
Oh!
Floppy
in December, missing those.
He just has to get in there.
If Floppy flips on a side, I would die. Because, like, CS's is, like, the king of flipping on the side.
They're probably saying, like...
It's like the king of unfortunate flipping. I remember I have not played mine.
3 minutes. You just have to. Oh no. Okay, gets it.
That was actually the play.
But he takes 2 hits from the Kron, and now he's.
So here's the thing: if the Kron can clip him, right? So what does he do? So I think that look at the timer, right? He literally has to. I don't know if this is the play. Because Kenway's like 200 IQ. He's like forcing. You know what I mean? If he plays the outside rocks, I'd almost feel like, oh my god, he's literally just W-keying it.
Yeah, that is the right play now. He's going to be close enough now where he'll be okay. He just needs to... Ooh, really good shot from Kenway. Oh no! He took the shot, Floppy. Why'd you take that shot? You just had to be really...
That was such a bad shot.
He couldn't get the depression, and
you know what's funny? He had enough time where he could have played the 2-cap. He literally could have made it to the 2-cap and played it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because he was at 238. He literally could have, like... Because the CS is fat. That's why I was like, oh, he's going to play the 2-cap and just win this. Because all he would have had to do is play the 2-cap, and then when, like, Kenway got close, he could just drive at him. You know what I mean?
And there's no way
Kenway would have had to overpoke. Yeah, because he could have played, like, B7 on the north part. So Kenway would have had to overpoke him. And that's if Kenway can even... Well, Kenway probably would have been able to get there as well, but it would have been just, like, so close.
Trying to get out of proxy range, it looks like Floppy, like, if he can, and try to poke up in a bush, but oof. Oof. Now he's definitely gone dark, and Kenway's
he definitely lost this. I really don't think the straightforward play, I don't think it was a good idea. Yeah.
And Kenway gets the shot, and down goes Floppy!
Yep.
Jack is AFK. Losing it at the end on Kenway's shoulders. My god, and let's not forget.
Floppy will... can you imagine
was it December or was it Octo? It was December, right? That was playing the ice.
Yeah, it was December. It was December.
Very good play by him.
I mean, Ox, and the thing is, too, if I was Ox, I'd be so upset, because that man played that man literally killed 3 people.
Yeah. And Muscles had the right call to go in on Ox, but because that was so close on the timer there. Like, so freaking close.
So, there's 2 things that he could have done differently. First off, let's just go really quick. Like, Ox did 156 fantasy points with 5,100 damage and 3 kills. Everybody else, meh, right? No, I'm joking. Muscles did 3,400 with 1 kill, 100% hit rate. Well, you know, Ox also having 100% hit rate. Burvy did really well. But, so there's 2 things he could have done differently, right? He could have went for Kenway first instead of December, right? Like, he could have went dark flexed hard to get Kenway first. I think the problem with flexing hard, and the reason why he probably just went straight in, is like his team was probably telling him he had to go in because they didn't want them to be together, right? Because they were still separated. so he had to go in because like if they grouped up, it would have been so hard for him to win that because it would have just been like an IS-7.
He could have ignored that IS-7 and just gone straight for Kenway technically.
Right. If he would have, I think that would have probably been the play, right?
If he took 2 shots from Kenway to pick the IS-7.
Well, he could have dumped. He could have went through mid, and then you know where Ox died. He could have drove that way to kill Kenway, right? And
because like he's taking the clip from Kenway to kill the IS-7,
right?
Why not just kill Kenway and then deal with the an IS-7?
Yeah, because the IS-7 can only shoot you once every what 11 seconds, 12. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think you're right. I think that would have been the play. Whereas Kenway has, I mean,
adrenaline pumping.
Right. Kronvagans have what, borderline 4K DPM? You know? I think it's like 36, something. It's high.
And him being, I mean, there was a series of plays there. You're right. Like the play from Ox before that just.
I mean, the play from Ox was
there was a
phenomenal.
Couple plays that
it was like literally phenomenal. Well. Like I knew he forced because it's Ox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he killed the 2 guys, and I was like, oh, he forced. He's gonna be ready for muscles. Like he knew that they were gonna YOLO him, and he got another guy down as a result. So it was literally like it was Floppy's game to win, and sadly he didn't. And so going into the next game here, we hopefully he doesn't. Because here's the thing, I know for a fact, like we've talked about this, like being like, ex-pro Gold League players and stuff like that. How like it's really hard to tilt, but like that game right there, it's so hard not to tilt on. You know what I mean? As a player, because it's not a team fault. You know what I mean? It's like, that's you, bro. You know what I mean?
But like at the same time, you can say like, why were we in this situation at the end of the game? Things were so chaotic and going however they did. Like the strategy didn't have me in this situation at this point. Like there's a lot of things where I feel like it's the guy that was up at the plate, the bases were loaded in the bottom of the ninth, and then he struck out. But like you can point to something where it's like, well, yeah, but 3 innings ago, when that guy dropped the ball, literally, like that was when we dropped the ball, right? Like that's where it could be as well. So, but you need people on your team to be able to pick him up on that situation because he's beating himself up because he felt like, oh, I just postseason rattles all that. Like people,
and I'll make sure to beat him up a little bit more because he always talks a lot of crap. Floppy's a background crap talker, 100%. Floppy was in my while the other 2 teams were fighting, Floppy was in my channel just talking crap. You're like, oh, tomatitos, and you know what I mean? So he's like one of those guys so he's one of those.
Bad karma? Oh, no.
He's one of those.
Jack is AFK running that defense. We've seen this defense before with Ox in the E100 and Brett in the Sturv. So not real. I mean, maybe there's going to be a new look to it, but I mean, it can only be so much of a new look. So Burbology have to be at least semi-prepared for this. And we even talked about Ox's position in the E100. Ox, I think, farmed a bunch of damage the last time he played it, but we talked about like the mouse maybe like superior with the way that the turret location is to get your kind of. We saw Dodo playing it with those angles with the gun, but Ox opting for the E100. And Brett, his little Swedish sniping DPM machine. I guarantee he's the one that came up with part of it where he's just like, it's easy. Play a Sturv. I do 7,000 damage and we win. And that's usually most of Brett's strats. I'm just joking. But I'm joking and I'm not joking. No, Brett is a really good player, and he's the type of player when he does play the tank like the Sturv, he's the one that you want in those vehicles at times because he doesn't miss his shots. He's always ready for it. He's not looking off at the sky or not paying attention. He's focused and he makes his shots count. Wow, I'm still like kind of out of breath after that last round, man.
Yeah, it was intense, but it looks like they're controlling the basically 8-line over. Basically,
a different look from Jack is AFK though.
Mm-hmm.
So throwing a wrench, the Sturv is now in the south with everyone else. Like this is just a pure bait. The STB's in a position where they go, okay, he won't be lit, he won't be proxied.
But do you give a team North for free? I feel like they get capped out, like like they capped out on proc.
Sometimes teams like cut corners and they start saying like, I think that Jack is AFK is counting on Burbology going, Oh yeah, the Sturf's going to be in the north with the STB and the, we've seen this before, and that's a good play to make in the postseason. But right now,
so you're saying they're
going
gonna
to
pick? They're looking to pick muscles potentially.
I'm saying that they think that they're.
Ooh, look at that shot!
And the thing is, Burbology are not taking the bait. They are not taking the bait. They've done their little thing. They did their pokes, and they go, something isn't right, and then they sniffed it out. Because look, the I7's in the north for free. The CS and VZ are there. Ox is getting pushed down. They baited it out, and Muscle's taking another hit, but been playing this match all season. He's the guy you want running on the weak side. And almost coming up with the kill on Ox last round, but double cap pressures there. Ox, he's
triple cap pressure. All Kenway really has to do, technically, is like permatrack Ox, and he wins.
Yeah, because no one else is going to get there in time for a reset. And Ox actually knows, like, I actually don't have time to shoot Kenway. Will he get the... Kenway's not shooting. He gets the first reset.
Kenway's lagging.
And now 8 seconds remaining. Ox knows he's going to have to get
Ox is going to use
one.
Kenway as a hold down. Oh, he doesn't get the reset!
He missed! And that's a cap out. Burbology win it! Floppy kills Muscles, but if you're on Burbology right now, you say, no more shooting, no more shooting. Let the clock tick out. Wow, Ox missing that last reset, but it got down to the wire. And like you said, Kenway making himself an obstacle. Huh. While the last round was a fantasy monster game, this one less so. Burbology sneaking out the cap fast, sniffing out the
most insane thing. Muscles got 2 clips out in that time period.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, look, 3K.
Oh yeah, because then they were pushing someone to finish him off, and they did pick him at the end. I guess it was probably Captain Jack or Floppy that got the kill. Yeah, it was Floppy that got the kill. But yeah, wow. Really well done by Burbology. I admire what Jack is AFK tried to do. The problem was that they just simply kind of got called on it by Burbology. And they didn't really have a good option to rotate back.
So here's the thing. I'm not one to say that a team of this caliber goes on tilt, but after those 2 games, I would Alt F4. and those 2 games in a row, dude. Because they're in a row.
You said they're like, if they're like you said Floppy is and stuff, if they're like that, then it can be really bad because who came up with this idea? Let's say it was Ox or something. I don't know. Or Captain Jack, and then it's like, see, I told you that was so stupid. We should never done. We should have just done our normal thing, and now we're down 3-1. You know what I mean?
Desk banging, probably. That's what you. I mean, if I would have played like Floppy played, my desk would be like, fucked up.
And I mean, we saw this same situation with. So this is just technically by the seeding choices. It was 3-1. Flair was down, like, maybe even arguably worse because Flair lost 2-0 on Proc.
True. Right.
And Flair is considered much better than Tomatito's. Even though we talk about Tomatito's being really
I think we both agreed that Bears is going to win this, though. And I think it's going the way we were saying.
I think Bears, but it's like I don't, and it's because of what you said. It's our Jack is AFK practicing and really looking at what they're doing. That they've had a lot of volatility. Jack, if any team can do it though, Jack's AFK can. It's just
all I know is a lot of these like new gen boys are like the old guys don't have it in them. We're winning, dude. We're winning.
And I just hate that, like, the idea of Ox or Brett as being old to me is absolutely crazy.
I know, you cringed really hard.